Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Man, you guys really are like the hip-hop early morning, late night talk show.
Breakfast Club is the most powerful, popular, urban radio show in America.
Made it! Live from the Black Mothership in New York City, it's DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God.
It's different, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know what y'all talking about.
Thank you, y'all. Be blessed. I love y'all.
Collectively known as
Breakfast Club, bitches! I'm always nervous when I do the Breakfast Club because sometimes you say stuff and it's just gonna get you in trouble.
Everybody wake up!
Good morning, USA!
Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday. Good morning. How you feeling?
I just thought about it. This is our first week back, right?
Yes.
Why I feel longer than that? I feel like we've been back. Maybe it's just me.
Just you.
I don't know.
Just you.
I'm a little sore this morning too. Had a good workout yesterday. Salute to my cousin Perrin, man. You know? So I'm a little sore. But other than that, it is a beautiful Thursday morning, man. How you feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. What's happening?
Feel amazing this morning.
Yes, indeed, man. God is good.
Now, today we got some special guests joining us this morning. We have Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum.
Yes, they just launched a new podcast called the Native Land Podcast. It is the flagship podcast off a new vertical from iHeart Media called Reason Choice Media, which is going to be strictly a podcast platform for politically driven podcasts.
That's right.
You know?
Which is especially needed this year.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
So Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum will be here this morning to talk about that and some other things.
That's right. So we're going to chop it up with them in a little bit. And then we got front page news when we come back. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us. Got to break down a lot. But today is a very special day.
Yes, right. It is a Queen's born day. It is royalty's born day, okay? It is a woman who has gotten us all through. It is a woman who has provided the soundtrack for so many of our lives.
Yes.
Born day.
Stop playing my music.
An icon, okay? This song right here is so good for my mental health. There's not too many songs that I can turn on and can change my mood instantly, and this is one of them.
Shout out to the Queen, Mary J. Blige. Happy birthday,
Happy born
Queen.
day, Mary J. Blige.
Enjoy your
Come on, where the
birthday.
bombs at, Red? What you doing? Come on now.
She dropped a video to her single Forever. That's the joint featuring Remy Ma. She just put that out. You can check that out. If you follow her, you can check it out. Dope video.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time in my life. You know this album came out on my wife's born day?
Oh, really?
Yes, it came. I mean, not the exact date. The exact day, not date.
Gotcha.
Yes, November 29th, 1994, this album was released.
Well, that's right. We are the Breakfast Club. We'll see you in a second. Happy birthday, Mary J. Blige.
You're not going to hit the post? Come on. You're not going to hit the post? You're a radio personality. You forgot how to hit the post?
It's the
You got
Breakfast
to keep
Club. Good
talking
morning.
until now. How can I
sing it? Love somebody else. Keep going.
Hey, mine. It would be
Morning,
so
everybody.
sweet.
That's Mary J. Blige. Today is her birthday. Drop a bomb for Mary J.
Wanna
Blige.
be so happy, but the answer lies in me.
You ever know that one person that can't sing?
I do.
That
believe
tries so hard.
that we can be happy.
That actually tries to mess
I said
up the
I want
song
to be
for you.
happy. Yeah.
There's some voices that should stay in the shower and should never leave the
now
shower.
Let it breathe. Man, drop on the clues bombs for Mary J. Blige, damn it. Whoa. Boy, that be happy is an instant mood changer. You hear me? There's not too many songs that can instantly get you in a better mood. I don't care what you're going through. Even if it's just for that 4 or 5 minutes that song is playing. Incredible. Incredible.
We know you're not a singer, but let's get in some front page news. Morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Tez.
Let's start off with some quick sports. Now, NBA, just want to tell you guys, Kawhi Leonard signed a 3-year extension, and that was worth how much money? It was like $180 million. They didn't put the number, I don't know why, but it was like, I think, $180 million. But let's jump right into it. Where we start with DeSantis?
Yeah, we're going to start with the GOP debate that happened yesterday on CNN. The Iowa caucus is next Monday on Jonathan Major's favorite day, MLK Day. So they'll be going to the polls. And last night was the last GOP debate. Now, this debate was between Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Vivek Ramaswamy did not qualify for this debate due to low poll numbers, so it was just those two one-on-one. Both had the same amount of talk time. DeSantis talked for 44 minutes. Nikki Haley talked for 42 minutes. Here's a recap of them challenging each other. Take a listen.
Time people come down, she caves.
He's only mad about the donors because the donors used to be with him, but they're no longer with him now. And that's because he's upset about the fact that his campaign is exploding.
We don't need another mealy-mouthed politician who just tells you what she thinks you want to hear just to try to get your vote.
You can't trust what Ron's saying. But this is a bigger issue. This is more than him just constantly being desperate and throwing things on me.
We need to fly a flag of bold colors, carrying the banner of putting the American people first, not the pale pastels of the warmed-over corporatism of people like Nikki Haley.
Well, first of all, bless his heart, DeSantisLies.com.
The biggest news for tonight, in addition to that, was Chris Christie dropping out the race a few hours before the debate. Some people said, when did his campaign even start? But he was in the campaign, and he dropped out. But he was caught on a hot mic. Been a lot of hot mic caught this week. Let's take a listen to that.
Yeah, I mean, look, she spent $68 million so far, just on TV. Spent $68 million so far, $59 million by DeSantis, and we spent 12. I mean, who's punching above their weight and who's getting a return on their investment, you know? And she's going to get smoked. And you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
She hasn't even been. She's still 20 points behind Trump in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
And,
oh, yeah.
And he's still going to carry out, right?
Yes. Always. I talked to DeSantis called me, petrified.
You know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't know why the GOP doesn't move Trump out the way and put Nikki in his place, because saying Trump has baggage is an extreme understatement. So replace him with Nikki, but I also didn't understand why spend so much time Nikki and Ron going in on each other when they both are so far behind Trump.
So far.
Like I don't understand. Like what are you trying to prove by out debating Nikki Haley, or what is Nikki trying to prove by out debating Ron? Like the competition is Donald Trump.
It's way in front of y'all.
Yeah, and she mentioned that too. She said that this debate was not about her and Ron. It was about Trump, exactly what you said. Now, at the same time, Trump was over on Fox News doing a one-on-one town hall, speaking, to folks who are interested in what he had to say. And this is his response to Chris Christie dropping out the race.
Chris Christie was in, and he got a hot mic I heard about. I thought, actually, the bigger story wasn't the fact that he dropped out. Nobody cared too much about that. But he had a hot mic where he was talking to somebody about the weather, and he happened to say that she doesn't have what it takes. She'll be creamed in the election. And I mean, I know her very well, and I happen to believe that Chris Christie is right. That's one of the few things he's been right about, actually.
So you don't think it changes the dynamic much?
I don't know if it does or not.
Chris Christie, Donald Trump should have been like, Chris Christie can never finish running. He's never finished running in his life. Look at him. He can only run for about 1 or 2 minutes on the treadmill.
but that would be both of them. They both can't run more than 2 minutes on the treadmill.
Yeah, but I know for whatever reason, nothing sticks to Trump, right? Like he's only 3 years younger or 4 years younger than Joe Biden, but never gets called old. He's probably about 30 pounds lighter than Chris Christie, but never gets called fat. Not like that. Not like Chris Christie does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now they did address Trump's character. The question was asked, should Trump be in leadership again? And this is what they both had to say.
Do you believe Donald Trump has the character to be president again?
Well, I think the next president needs to have moral clarity. I think you need to have moral clarity to understand that it's taxpayer money, not your own money. I think you need to have moral clarity to understand that when you're dealing with dictators in the world, that we always have to fight for democracies and human rights and protecting Americans and preventing war. And so when you look at Donald Trump, I have said, I think he was the right president at the right time. I agree with a lot of his policies, but his way is not my way. I don't have vengeance. I don't have vendettas. I don't take things personally. For me, it's very much about no drama, no whining, and getting results and getting them done. So I don't think that President Trump is the right president to go forward. I think it's time for a new generational leader.
Well, I'm running because I'm the guy that's going to be able to engineer a comeback for this country. I appreciated what President Trump did, but let's just be honest. He said he was going to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. He did not deliver that. He said he was going to drain the swamp. He did not deliver that. He said he was going to hold Hillary accountable, and he let her off the hook. He said he was going to eliminate the debt, and he added $7.8 trillion to the debt. So we need to deliver and get this stuff done.
We should care about character, but nobody cares about character. Nobody cares about purity. When will folks realize clearly voters don't care about any of that stuff? They don't want purity or morals. They want politicians to be effective, and folks feel like Trump is effective. And it's amazing to me that Ron DeSantis is up there talking about all of the things Donald Trump didn't do as far as what he promised, instead of focusing on the fact he's got 91 criminal charges. Like we shouldn't even be talking about, what he didn't get accomplished while he was in the White House. Like the fact he's got 91 criminal charges and attempted a coup in this country should be enough for people not to want to vote for him.
All right.
But clearly it's not.
All right. Well, that is front page news. What we got next hour, Tess?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Was a clown show yesterday. Congress, a lot went down yesterday. You guys might want to break out the fans on this one because there was a lot of tea going on.
Yo, drop one of the clues bombs for the reporter who was asking Hunter Biden the tough questions as Hunter Biden was walking down that hall. I laughed at that a lot. I'm trying to find the video so I can repost it.
But we'll get
my God.
We'll get on
we'll
it
talk
next
about
hour.
it at 7.
Get me Joe Clark from Lean On Me too. You smoke crack, don't you? Get me Joe Clark from Lean On Me before we do that story.
Now get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray.
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live?
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, Envy.
What's up, Trav?
Charlamagne.
Peace, sis. What's happening?
Now, Trav, you haven't been calling in a little bit. You must have a new boo, Trav.
You say, Envy, y'all was off for 3 months, Envy.
We wasn't off for no damn 3 months, but
I just came back this week.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what? Black people love to exaggerate. I saw somebody yesterday say Breakfast Club only works 6 months out the year. Like, where y'all getting this from, yo?
Where they getting the information from, Char?
The nigga net.
Jesus.
Envy, I'm gonna be real, Envy. You shouldn't be allowed to come back to work until after the playoffs. If your team didn't make the playoffs, you shouldn't be able to go to work.
That is very true. I agree with that.
I'm just gonna be honest with you, Char. But look, Char, I have a question for you.
Yes,
so
sir.
you know that means you going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Did you
my
get our
goodness.
suite yet?
No, I haven't gotten the suite yet.
Char, you need to start looking for the suite, Char.
It's a waste of money, Trav. It's gonna be a waste of money.
Man, look at you hating at 6 o'clock in the morning. Bye, y'all.
Jesus Christ. Hello, who's this?
Good morning. It's your boy Ryan from Brooklyn. How you doing?
Ryan from Brooklyn. What up? Get it off your chest.
I'm pissed off, man. These insurance people be mutual. They got to count their days. I've been out of work for a couple months now, and they ain't paid me yet, and I'm pissed off, man. They got to count their days, mutual.
Damn. Well, you're not gonna get insurance threatening them, okay?
Yeah, that's not gonna work, bro.
You're a liability.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Have a blessed day, sir.
Yeah, goodbye, sir. Hello, who's this?
Yo, DJ Envy, this is B-Ray from Atlanta.
All right, B-Ray, what's up? Get it off your chest.
Yes, sir. I just want to say shout out to Charlamagne, shout out to yourself for doing what y'all do on a positive note. But Charlamagne was singing Mary J. Blige. Shout out to her. This is her birthday.
Absolutely.
But I just want to say why Charlamagne won't let people that wear Beijing be happy. You know,
it's
hard.
People that wear Beijing be happy.
Why you won't let Beijing people be happy, man? Just because you got a bald head with no facial hair and you got all the noise to say about people with Beijing. I wear a little bit of it, but not a lot.
Well, I want y'all to be happy, but clearly you're not. Because if you were happy, then you would let your grade show.
Yeah, my grade does show, but there's nothing wrong with enhancing your personal health.
It's not health, but I'm not mad at you if you feel like doing the Beijing thing. But I'm going to point it out when it looks very fake, like Envy's be doing.
Mine don't look fake, but thank you, brother. He just be hating because he ain't got no hair on the top of his head.
And by the way, I don't have no problem with Beijing.
Yes, you do.
I have a problem with y'all people that make it look so obvious. Like, y'all be looking crazy. Like, it just look like somebody just took black paint and just threw it on your head.
You a hater.
It looks insane.
He's a hater, B-Ray.
Well, Charlamagne, it's no different when you get pedicures and manicures, you put clear ink on your finger there. What's the difference?
I don't get no ink on my fingers when I get a pedicure.
Charlamagne, you put ink on your finger. What color you use, Charla?
I don't get color.
He get color.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with Beijing. Y'all just need to stop doing it yourself. Maybe go to a professional and let a professional blend it in or something.
Hey, Envy, it's hard to trust somebody bald head with no facial hair in 2024, man.
There you go. B-Ray, you know what it is?
Facial hair.
B-Ray, women get their hair dyed all the time. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a little Jessamine or a little Beijing.
Women get their hair dyed by a professional. Our women know how to put just enough in it so it at least looks natural. Y'all don't be looking natural, and y'all get mad when somebody calls it out.
Well, B-Ray, tell him we don't do it for him. Why he trying to look at us like that?
Charlamagne, I get my hair cut every 2 weeks. I pay $100, and my barber put enhancements in my beard every now and then. But I let my gray hair
like that.
And I bet you yours look way better than Envy's.
Yo, stop it.
Envy look like the beetle off the first Mario Brothers, the little black beetle. I'm talking about the one from '86.
Don't laugh at him, B-Ray. We stick together. Don't laugh at him.
Hey, well, let's shout out to y'all, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all do, man.
Have a good one, B-Ray. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. It's a new day. This is your time to get it off your chest. Wake up. Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This is William Pitts.
What's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
In November, I got hurt on the job, and I want to say hey Charlamagne and hey DJ Envy.
Peace, King. How are you?
Not too good, but I got hurt, and they put me on light duty and with my cop, but then turned around, they didn't get me out for pain or anything, so I was out a couple of days. So they fired me, but they told me they couldn't fire me because I was on workers' comp.
I didn't think you could be fired on workers' comp.
I didn't know that either.
Damn.
So I haven't received any money for the whole month of December for workers' comp. And now I'm going into January. I ain't have no money to pay my rent or anything. And I went to Cabot and Knappman, and they said it took 90 days for them to even the process to handle it. And I'm up a creek without a powder. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What you need, brother? Like what you looking for?
Something just to get me past this month because I go to court on the 22nd of this month for an eviction. Maybe y'all can't help me, but I need some kind of help. I called the churches and all them, and they said they can't help me unless I pay December month rent.
Well, put your cash app out there, man. Put your cash app out there.
Capital LIND, capital PITTS.
Okay, bro.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, brother.
All right, now. Yeah, Taylor, one of our producers, said it depends on what state you're in if you could be fired for workers' comp. So I guess the state that he is can let him go or be it on workers' comp. Sorry for that, brother. Hello, who's this?
What's up, man? My name is Ahmad.
Ahmad, what up? Get it off your chest, bro.
So good morning, y'all. I have nothing negative to get off my chest. I wanted to say a couple things, though. So one, I tried to call y'all last month and tell y'all happy anniversary because December 7th is actually my birthday too.
Hey.
So I want to make sure I told y'all happy birthday, happy anniversary and everything like that. No problem. Two, it's just cool to talk to both of y'all. Actually, it's just cool to talk to you because I used to be a Charlamagne hater, no lie. But after some time, I started listening to you and I was like, dang. He actually, we kind of, I'm not going to say think alike, but I was like, I definitely agree on certain things that he stands on. So I haven't been a Charlamagne hater in a few years.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. But I need my haters too now.
Which I understand. I feel like everybody needs some haters, but like, only if you really, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be something to hate on. And I felt like, well, if I'm agreeing with stuff, I can't really hate on them. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, everybody loves a bad guy, okay?
It's called Stockholm Syndrome, sir. You're listening to so long that you forget that you hate him. And you start liking him.
Everybody loves the bad guy. I like being the bad guy.
800-585-1051. Now, when we come back, we got your rumor report. We got to talk about who Stephen A. Smith called a fat bastard. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Stephen A. Smith.
Rumor has it. Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the rumor report.
I guess we on The Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. Now, yesterday I follow Stephen A. Smith on Instagram and on social media, and he posted something that was totally unlike Stephen A. Smith. This is what he said on his Instagram yesterday, which I noticed, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like Stephen A.
There's a few things going on in the world of sports that need to be addressed, but on this particular day, they don't take precedent. Instead, one would be Aaron Rodgers and his situation with the Pat McAfee show. That's necessary to address because, after all, I'm an employee for ESPN. The other would be a fat bastard that has gotten away for far too long talking his bull. You wanted some? Fine. I'm happy to give it to you. All I will say is that the things that I'm going to say, please don't hold anybody responsible for it other than me. Nobody. I even took the liberty of calling my pastor to apologize in advance for what I'm going to say about that no good bastard. So I will address that in just a few minutes, and I'm not engaging in hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. The pastor's name is Pastor A.R. Bernard at Christian Cultural Center. You don't believe me? Call him and ask him.
All right. So that's where it started. And Stephen A. Smith is my Queen's brethren. When I seen him start talking like that, I said, what the hell is going on?
How was he talking?
Just like that. Like, Stephen A. Smith, he used...
That wasn't nothing extra. That wasn't nothing crazy.
He usually doesn't talk about colleagues. He usually talk more about sports.
Jason Whitlock's not his colleague.
Well, Jason Whitlock, if you don't know who it is, he has a show on Blige, and he said Stephen A. Smith... I guess he went down the same road as Cat Williams tried to go down, and he said Stephen A. Smith was an industry plant and that he didn't write his own book. Well, Stephen A. Smith wanted to address some of the things that Jason Whitlock said about him.
This man will tell you I'm lying. He even went so far as to say my autobiography, where I talk about my mother, my father, my sisters, the business, my hiring and firing and rehiring at ESPN. I didn't write it. This article is an article written on Deadspin.com. The title, How Jason Whitlock is Poisoning ESPN's Black Grant Land. Let me read the graph to you. This staff, the one Whitlock was praising by way of warnings that if the writers and editors wouldn't align with his vision, he would get rid of them, was not the one Whitlock wanted. The Undefeated was originally meant to attract the best and brightest young black talent in the country. Those young writers comprehensively refused to work with him. So did big-name ESPNers like Howard Bryant, Jamel Hill, and Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't write, huh?
Well, he talks about that, and then he talks about after that, Jason Whitlock actually running up on him and apologizing and saying he's sorry and wrote an email and said he understands and how bad he thought their relationship was.
Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging me to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email begging me to forgive you? Pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me. Did you tell the folks that?
He also talks about how he doesn't like Jason so much that he even made it his point to put in his contract that he never, ever has to work with him on the network.
Ladies and gentlemen, how serious I am? Am I? I have a contract that I negotiated with ESPN and I signed in 2015. I had it in my contract, and I have a copy of it, where it specifically stipulates that I never work with Jason Whitlock. It's in writing. No wonder you didn't see him on First Take. You didn't see him on Undisputed with Skip Bayless either. Skip Bayless wouldn't allow him on there. You didn't see him on Numbers Never Lie either. Jamel Hill and Michael Smith wouldn't allow him on there.
I wonder how much of this is Stephen A. Smith being actually upset, or how much of this is Stephen A. using Jason Whitlock for content. Not that Stephen A. needs it, you know what I mean? And I'm not mad at any of it, but I just wonder because Shannon Sharp had a great week with the Cat Williams Club Shay Shay interview. You know, right. Pat McAfee had a great week with all the Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel controversy. Stephen A. might feel a need to keep up. Might be a need to compete. I don't know. I'm just saying because there really is no reason for Stephen A. Smith to be discussing Jason Whitlock at this point. I mean, he's been throwing shots at Stephen A. Smith and everybody over there for years. So maybe Stephen A. Smith got fed up. I don't know. Maybe he's just using this for content. I don't know.
But it gets to a point sometimes you probably just get fed up. It's just like you say one more thing and it's like, you know what? I just got to respond to dude. Like enough is enough.
Oh, who cares? Other than noise, other than drama, other than us loving to see people go at each other, why do we care about this situation? Because I still don't even know what this is all about.
Right.
And you've been explaining it for the past 4 or 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, now with Stephen A. Smith, he had to get some things off his chest, and he did. Also, Young Miami allegedly, now this is a Jasmine brand exclusive, they're reporting that she has to cut out Diddy on her reality show. They're saying that possibly, I'll say allegedly, that the show is pushed back a little bit because there's a lot of scenes with Diddy, and they're taking those scenes out. I don't know how true that is. Young Miami, she listens every morning. Well, most of the mornings when she's taking her kids to school. So hopefully she'll check in and say, well, that's true or that's not true. But that's allegedly. And that show is set to air on BET later this year.
Well, I wasn't looking forward to that show because of any Diddy appearances anyway.
Nope.
I was looking forward to that show because Young Miami is highly entertaining.
Absolutely.
You know, Carisha's highly entertaining. So, yes, I want to see Carisha's behind the scenes life.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm highly intrigued and interested in a Young Miami reality TV show.
Yeah, and we seen them taping at the BET Awards. We seen them taping up here.
They were taping here, yeah.
Yeah, they were taping a lot of places. So I look forward to seeing that as well.
I want to see. I care about seeing cameos from JT more than I do Diddy.
Mm-hmm. All right, and that is your rumor report. Mm-hmm. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. Tesla and Figaro will be breaking down what's happening in the world, and then we have Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum, the Native Land Podcast. They'll be joining us. They got a new podcast that they launched today, and we'll talk to them in a few. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Tez?
What's going on? DJ Envy and Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Tez.
Let's jump right into it. Hunter Biden.
Man, yesterday was a circus, to say the least. Very entertaining. He popped up yesterday unexpectedly attending the hearing about if Congress should hold him in contempt. Let's go to CBS for the report.
There was some high drama on Capitol Hill today after Hunter Biden made a surprise appearance at the House Oversight Committee. That group has been weighing whether to hold the president's son in contempt of Congress. At issue, Hunter Biden's earlier refusal to appear for a closed-door deposition. He instead offered to testify publicly. House Republicans want to talk with him as part of their impeachment inquiry into his father. 30 minutes into today's hearing, Hunter Biden walked out without responding to any questions.
Yeah, so a lot was going on. Republicans were throwing shots all afternoon. Representative Nancy Mace, she went there talking about white privilege and mentioned who has balls and who doesn't. Take a listen.
You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no to come up here.
Okay, then after that, Marjorie Taylor Greene had this to say about him being a coward.
Sits here with a smug look on his face and runs away when it's my turn to talk. Not only is he a criminal, but he is a coward.
Then after that, he went outside, and reporters, going back to what you talked about earlier, Charlamagne, they walked up on him and his attorney and asked him about crack. Let's take a listen.
Would you please, I'll answer your question if you be quiet and let me make a statement, okay? What kind of crack do you normally smoke, Mr. Biden?
I'm not mad at any of that, you know what I mean? But I do feel like you got to keep the same energy because, you know, President Donald Trump and his administration, you know, they've ducked a lot of subpoenas, you know, from Congress, and I've never heard anybody from the GOP call him out about it.
The question: you sold crack before? Are there different types of crack?
No, I never knew that there was different types of crack, and that's what was so entertaining about that. We are the most unserious country ever. I truly don't even know how shows like SNL are still on because everything is a spoof, but real life is funnier. I didn't know there was types of crack. Like, what level of privilege do you have to be able to get different types of crack? Like, is there a crack in Robbins? Like, do folks go so they can get 31 flavors of that fried cocaine?
I don't know. Can you fry crack? Can you grill crack? Is it jerk crack?
Well, you can fry coke. That's all crack is fried cocaine. And what flavors do they have? Is it like peanut butter blossom crack, non-dairy mint choco chunk crack? You know what I mean? Chocolate mousse crack royale. What do they have, huh? Old-fashioned butter pecan crack, Oreo cookies and cream crack, huh? Chocolate cherry bar crack, mint chocolate chip crack. How many? What type of crack is it, Hunter?
Maybe they were talking about the potency of the crack, because, you know, you can step on it. Maybe some a little bit stronger, not stronger. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. I just like, damn, boy, white privilege must be real for real when you can get different types of crack. They only had one type of crack when I was growing up. Damn.
Just plain basic good old crack.
Plain basic vanilla crack. Just the plain basic vanilla. We ain't even get vanilla chocolate or strawberry, just straight vanilla.
Jesus.
So what'd you say? You said they went Joe, what'd they do? They went Joe Clark on to play that red?
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
I'm trying to tell you.
That's
all I was missing. That's how that reporter ain't got no sense of culture.
Right.
If he had a sense of culture, because he was asking great questions. Right. All the questions leading up to it, but you got to end it with that joke. You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you, boy? If he'd have ended it with Joe Clark, legend. Legend.
So y'all don't take anything serious.
No, we don't.
That's your problem.
No, we don't. This is America's. This is the series finale of America. Okay, final act. So let's enjoy it.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, definitely was a mess. But overall, the House Oversight Committee did vote 25-21 to approve a resolution holding Hunter Biden in contempt. So we'll just continue to keep following. But yesterday was very entertaining. And so much more was said. Charlamagne, before we get out of there, what they were saying about erections and showing penis pics?
Everybody was just messing up. Like, I saw somebody calling out somebody for showing penis pics, and then I saw Representative Pramila Jayapal say Trump incited an erection.
But if we're going to talk about outrageous things that have happened or things that have never happened, let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection. And maybe that too.
Yeah, you could talk about that too, I guess.
It was just wild. Like, it was just a wild time yesterday in Congress.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is front page news. Thank you, Tez.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tesla and Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right, now when we come back, Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum will be joining us. They got a new podcast, the Native Land Podcast, so we're going to chop it up with them next. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club, and we got some special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have Angela Rye.
All right.
No. Tiffany Cross. And Andrew Gillum. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? Happy New Year.
How y'all feeling?
The internet calls him Destiny Fulfilled.
Destiny Fulfilled.
No, we're death row. Did you hear that? They were like,
Death Row.
it's giving death row. I was like, I appreciate that. This
Because of
is
their
West Coast
promo
all day.
pictures for what they're here to talk about, their new podcast, Native Land.
Native Land Podcast.
Yes.
Well, how did you three get together and decide to do this podcast?
Long before the podcast, actually. We've all known each other. I've known Angela almost my whole adult life. I think we met when I was like 23, 24, right when we both moved to D.C. Angela and Andrew already knew each other, and Andrew and I met through the years.
Yeah. CBC mostly.
Yeah, exactly. But you were
Congressional
also
Black
like in
Caucus.
D.C. a
Yeah.
lot. Doing things, and so it was really organic the way our friendship came together. And Angela had this vision of doing the podcast and reached out to both of us. And when Angela calls, when my sister calls, I always say yes. So
We had an instant, it was instant mad love and respect for the sister who was, leveling your biggest beast in the room. It didn't matter. And to see Angela change the culture for young professionals in D.C. during her time there, her legacy lives on with other young, they ain't as live, but it lives on through those who are continuing her work. And to come to this podcast, I think what is particularly special is not just the long-standing relationship that we have with each other. It is that very few people want to enter your atmosphere when they think you are radioactive. Maybe you're radioactive cooling. Maybe you've gotten through, but it is very hard to find the first. It's the same, is that all the hardships had somehow reached alchemy, that you could turn what you thought was bad, horrific, that you're still mourning and grieving and triggered by. You have to be thankful for it all.
With that said, who determines if you're radioactive, though? Because I think a lot of times we might care more than other people do. Like, it might just be,
society at large. I think social media can be harsh.
Them.
I agree.
I hate that. As I said this morning.
No, but she's right, because the social media creates the noise.
Right. And sometimes it can penetrate lazy journalism and drive how newsrooms treat you.
Absolutely.
And how they speak. So, and sometimes it like they say, be your own people. Sometimes people who you thought were your friend were not at that time, in the time of fire. I would say when my show got canceled unexpectedly, Charlamagne, you remember that time period,
Absolutely.
of course.
They said it was Charlamagne's fault.
No, it was not. It was not Charlamagne's fault at all, for the record. But you could not reach me. Like, you literally had to go through Angela to get to me. Like, Angela, get on a plane, come to Atlanta, and we were, like, together. Nonstop, and you notice who's slow to return your phone calls because they're playing the power game and would rather align with like feckless leaders who uphold white supremacy instead of people who never came to you in crisis but were always with you in sisterhood. And so I think you have three people here who have been consistent in that way, and it takes a special person like Andrew said to stand with you in the fire. But Andrew, I want Andrew to say the advice he gave, because I can be a petty bitch, and it's like I don't with that person anymore. And Andrew has a really great point that he makes about expecting, like acceptance and expecting. And it's like you are expecting, I'm gonna mess it up, but you are expecting a hyena to act like a lion when they've always been a hyena.
That's right.
So you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
No, so the point about, I think, tried through the fire, the phoenix keeps coming to mind of going through something and then trying to emerge. Going through these kinds of things, the trial, everything that happened post my run for governor of Florida, I had assumed that people who benefited financially, personally, who got their jobs, are holding those jobs and those advances because of doors you opened, because you refused to do business with people who did not hire, employ, respect the diversity of our community, whose dollars we're actually spending. And I thought, because of my presence for them, forget what it meant to lead and represent it as a mayor and run for governor and earn those votes and so on and so forth. But the people who I care and the commissioner couldn't, they were aloof, disappeared, vermouth.
You couldn't have thought they were your real friends, though.
No. I absolutely thought that these were people who I could go into a bunker with. And I think all of us would have, if you pull back the layers, I'm not sure how wide you go with all your circle and whether you call everybody a friend. But these are people I had put on a friend list after scrutiny and expect that they're going to be there for me, not because I read something in the newspaper and I'm just finding his heart. No, it's because the person I know wouldn't do what you're suggesting, praise God.
Right.
And I'm standing with him in the gap until somebody proves me otherwise or proves me different. And even after that, I have grace.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When none of that shows up, lonely, angry, mad, and all that stuff, is for the birds. I'm just so thankful God revealed for me people in my life who would say and hold me and say, you were expecting those folks to show up as you would, and I understand how that happens. Mm-hmm. But their reaction was simply them doing what they knew how to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was their default. They didn't know to perform differently. They didn't know to organize our friends and hold a press conference and call for this, that, and the third. What they did was they retreated to their safety and security. Because if they can take this dude down, then what about me?
Do to me?
Right. And that's the intention of it. That is the intention of it. Don't be too bold. Don't be too real. Don't speak too honest the truth. We have to present, like, if these negresses get too out of hand, we are going to castrate you on some level. I think that happens all the time. Right. It is important to show, hey, I'm still here. I ain't never gone nowhere. We are all still here. We're all still standing. And even if, the faces look different, right? But it still represents the same thing. So it is, I would say, Andrew, and for all of us who have ever found ourselves in the public eye in a negative way, to the mass consumers out there, don't do the conservative white man's bidding for him. Stop spreading bullshit on the internet. Stop spreading salacious things on the internet to get likes. Stop spreading they expect you to do that. Sure. They're like, we're going to spoon feed this to you because we know that you will be the person to carry this to the community, whether it be right-wing talking points or an effort to take out one of your leaders.
Does it bother you that it's a lot of times in both your situations, in Angela as well, where it's the people that look like you that's attacking you more?
It is a problem. That is a problem. Part of it is, I think, social media, which just erodes intellect in a lot of ways. Read a paper and stop scrolling through Instagram looking at nonsense. But also, even as it impacts lazy journalism, look, the oppressor does not have to look like them. Sometimes the oppressor looks like you. Sometimes they select, I'm going to pick you, the overseer, because I know you are a weak one who can be bought and sold. And I know I can send you out to the path to keep all the other Negroes and in check. And you have to look at yourself like, what side, if history steps back and judge me, what side am I on? And look, if you look at history, there's always been that. Like, Martin Luther King was not celebrated his entire life. Right. He was considered a troublemaker. Like, we don't want you around here. Massive feed us good. We happy. So there's always been those people. Don't be that person.
All right, we got more with Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum. Their new podcast, the Native Land Podcast, is out today. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum. Now, Charlamagne?
Where did you get the name Native Land from, Angela? Angela already gave me the look like, steer this back to the podcast.
Yeah, like we can go in, and I think the main thing for us to know is this is radio. We want people to tune into the podcast. We want them to do that every week. It's dropping every single Thursday. Native Land Pod is name. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. You gonna have
just cut you off like that?
Like, I've been talking for 15 minutes. Hush, boy. Hush, boy. But no, it was there's a stanza in James Weldon Johnson's Lift Every Voice and Sing, true to our God, true to our native land. And I think that the conundrum that many of us find ourselves in is we know that this isn't our original birthplace. This isn't our origin story, so to speak. It is the continent. But a lot of us have never been there. We have been fortunate to go. but a lot of us haven't been there. But this has become our native land. This has become our home base because our folks built this. I say we built this joint for free. And then moreover, because of the lack of safety that Tiff has referenced and that Andrew's referenced, we wanted a home base for our folks to come to every single week. And so when we say Native Land Pod, we also say, welcome home, y'all.
What would you say to people who will probably look at y'all and say, well, this is just going to be another Democratic echo chamber?
I don't know why. I vote Democrat most of the time, but I am not a talking head for the party at all. I think they make horrific decisions. I think they summarily dismiss our community the same way a lot of the cable news industry does. I think they fail us at every point. I think this is part of another narrative that some black folks have taken in and believed. And that is, and a lot of white folks believe it, that black people are so loyal to the Democratic Party. That is not true. Black folks are loyal to ourselves, and the world benefits from it. Society benefits from what we do. I understand the person's perspective who says, you want me to participate in this system that has incarcerated my brother, poisoned my mother, keeps my kids in a dilapidated school, and you're telling me by my participation in this system I'm going to somehow fix it, when for decades my life has not changed. I understand that perspective. When we vote, we are not American enthusiasts trying to uphold the white man's democracy. We are voting in favor of harm reduction. That has nothing to do with loyalty to a party. We are loyal to our people. And by our people, I mean us as black folks, but also the rising majority of this country, the Asian American Pacific Islander community, the indigenous community, the Latino community, because this country hasn't been very polite or kind to any of those communities. And so we're trying to be here to advance a cause for the greater good, not for any political party.
Would any of y'all ever vote for a conservative? Like that wasn't a Trump conservative.
Conservative policies, I think, have been overwhelmingly harmful to black folks. So I don't necessarily get so caught up in titles.
So it's Democratic ones too, though.
That's what I was about to say. Like, there are conservative Democrats. So I think anybody who falls under the conservative umbrella, those policies are contrary to my survival and to the health of my community. So I don't think so.
I think, and we talked about lazy journalism earlier, and this is no insult to you, my dear brother, but I think that what we often do is say we want to break out of boxes, and then we try to find a way to put people right back in those boxes. I think here on the show, what we're going to really try to do is break out of those constraints and really talk about what it looks like to have a black agenda. Thank God for Alicia Garza working on the Black Census Project that now gives us permission to imagine what a world could look like that we could live in and thrive in. I think the other thing that's really important is I don't really want to construct another Republican Frankenstein. They tried that experiment and failed. At least it failed us. That's Donald Trump, right? Like, I don't want to build the ideal conservative for me. I don't know who that is. I think I'm progressive.
There's no ideal no politician, though.
But that's what I'm saying. To Tiff's point about harm reduction. So for me, I'm progressive. I don't see myself in the White House. I don't see myself, for the most part, in Congress. There are several Congressional Black Caucus members who I think don't get the attention and the respect they deserve because they represent my best interests. I wish some of them would run for higher office, and some of them haven't and couldn't get there.
I appreciate the point around the best interest, because the truth is that most of these things benefit everybody. I mean, that's part of one of when we say people are out there advocating and legislating on our behalf, it's largely to close a gap that should never have existed in the first place. That exists in public policy, society, and it plays out every single day again on this hamster wheel, that we're bridging that. But the benefit of that idea, that policy, you can't tell me getting that extra however many hundreds of dollars per child during COVID for childcare didn't mean something to white folks, black folks, brown folks, and everything in between. The problem is that we've got folks who are putting lots of money into making sure that all we know are our differences.
Yeah.
Right? You can't tell me my state is uber Republican when we had a race in 18 that came down to 0.4% difference.
Yeah.
Now, I am nowhere near a conservative title. Joe Biden is much more than that than I am. And had a 5 or 6 point difference in the last Democratic nominee. Love him, but a 20-point gap. And so did Val Demings. Right? So what the hell are white people prepared to hear from us? And in what way do they need to hear it that doesn't betray our agenda, it furthers it, but allows them to see themselves in the process? Because I think that's what we had to do to close that divide. And unfortunately, black voters are the most sophisticated voters that exists, period. And we're going to exclamation mark that point on the program.
Expound on that.
Well, let's use Obama as an example. We thought he spoke well. We thought that he was well-groomed and well-prepared, and everybody was in love with Michelle Obama. But
that sounded very white, though, Andrew.
We didn't be
well-spoken and well-groomed.
I'm putting it in a frame that I think most people recognize are societal attributes when you're considering somebody to be president of the United States. He couldn't be no black brother, brown brother like me or Warnock from the South.
That's why I voted for him.
Right.
I voted for him because he seemed down. I wasn't sophisticated as a voter then.
But I will tell you, our age range, we carried him when our grandparents and parents didn't believe.
When they were skeptical.
Now, when black folks saw that white folks in Iowa and New Hampshire were willing to go there for him, then it changed our perception of what was possible. But black folks, unfortunately, but it is created in us a gift, have always had to consider how white people will vote when considering whether we could get behind that candidate, put money there, organize for that person. Because if it ain't real, as pragmatic people, we're not going there by and large. We support you, hallelujah, but society by and large isn't supporting you. So when we saw that, did we rally or did we rally? There was no turning back after New Hampshire. And then South Carolina, there was it changed the winds in South Carolina. The polling was different a week before.
And Oprah was with him in South Carolina. So I'm saying there was a lot of, he won a lot of cultural wars. Pop cultural wars.
It took a long time for him to get to that.
A whole long time.
Because black folks were solidly in the Clinton camp, if you remember.
Absolutely.
Y'all talking about y'all inside college political people. I'm talking about people just on
I'm talking about my grandmother and my mother who were committed to voting for Hillary Clinton.
The first time I ever voted was Barack Obama. Period.
And so you joined millions of others.
That's what I'm trying to tell you is that President Obama energized the whole group of people who never even considered politics.
That's literally what I think Andrew's point was. There was young people first who carried him and made it feel like that was even possible. Older black folks were like, this cannot happen.
Church pews and it wasn't happening.
Not just political folks.
And it wasn't because they were hating.
That's right.
They love us and want the best for us, but they
were scared. They didn't think a black person could
think he was going to be able to make it.
To your point of sophisticated, why are we? Because we consider the performance of everyone else.
Yep.
Bake it into the formula before we go in and make decisions about ourselves.
We don't have the privilege.
That's why we're going to talk about liberation, because liberation is that I get to decide regardless of how it impacts. I am going in here and I've got a frame, and my freedom requires that I vote for this thing that's going to lead to more of that.
Yeah.
All right, we got more with Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum. When we come back, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, Andrew Gillum. They have a new podcast, the Native Land Podcast. Now, I got a question. What is encouraging people out there to vote? Is it Joe Biden? Is it Donald Trump? People don't seem that enthused this year. Why would I get out and vote and not sit on the couch, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. Why would I go vote for Biden?
Or they're saying, I haven't heard, why wouldn't I sit on the couch? I have heard, I wish somebody else was running. I have heard that. I've heard it a lot more. It is scaring me, right? And what I hope comes out of this, not just for us, for the conversations we'll have on Native Land Pod, but I hope what comes out of this is a push from the administration to do some things to meet people where they are, meet them in their sacrifice. People showed up through a pandemic for this administration. Show up for these folks. You know, I'm tired of having the conversation about the Democratic Party takes black voters for granted. We know. What are you going to do about it, Chairman Jamie Harrison? I know you. I know that you know the sacrifice. I know what you're up against with all those white consultants that ain't moved over there. We got your back, so have ours, right? I think that it's time for us to really have that conversation more publicly. We've had it quietly because a lot of our friends work in there. We want to embolden our friends, empower our friends, but now we're at a point where our family members, our friends are talking about this more publicly, and they deserve to be held to account.
And they attack y'all when y'all speak out against their President Biden.
Well, look,
they do. This is some real plantation. Like, don't you talk about Massa like that.
Well, but I think
he good to us.
But Leonard, it might not just be plantation mentality. Some of it is fear.
I watched him,
and I don't want to minimize that fear.
I got a check this time. That there was legislation.
So you can't be mad at people who feel like that about Trump when they got their stimmies.
Oh, you're talking about stimulus check. I thought you were talking about checks and balances.
And not just the stimulus. I'm saying the agenda. If you have kids and you were paying for daycare and you saw that subsidy doubled on your taxes, that it went to a every 3 month disbursement. Things have happened as a result of this man being in office, that has improved our quality of life.
How do you message that, though?
Well, you got to remind people, and they have to stand the fight for it. What happened? Manchin and Sinema said, we're not going back there. And that was all she wrote. 2 Democrats said, we're stepping back in the Senate. And that was all she wrote. But I will tell you this much. If Biden were running off of his agenda, and by the way, I firmly believe these things ought to exist in society anyway, because we don't pay people enough to deal with the hell we deal with to catch our breath from day to day. Native Land Podcast is going to be transformational because I think it's going to remind us of our power. And yes, elections have names on the ballot of people we don't like, think too old, might die, da-da-da-da-da. But it is, unfortunately, the system that we are operating within. And until we can coerce that system to looking more like the one that we believe we deserve, you don't walk off the field. You stay on the field because there are consequences to walking off the field.
Yeah.
Trump said, I know who's getting most impacted by this coronavirus, and it's mostly older, sicker, and people of color. I knew right then in that press conference that he didn't care a lick about the coronavirus because the people who were at the intersection of the greatest impact didn't look like him. He didn't care about him, so on and so forth. So if we just check out because we're not getting everything, at least tell me you're checking out from Joe Biden, because on the other side of the agenda, you're getting more than what you're getting on this side.
I may have an unpopular take here, so I may lose my amen corner, but there is a saying in politics that you can never blame the voter. I am going to blame the voter a little bit because I feel like society at large is so caught up again in bull. And so there are many things that the Biden administration has done that people benefit from. I think, one, there's a lack of understanding in civics in this country across every socioeconomic status, across every racial divide. People don't understand the difference between state, federal, and local government. And so sometimes people ascribe blame where there should be none to the federal government. 2, we have to take responsibility as citizens of this country. It is our job to know when elections are happening, what's on the ballot, who's on the ballot, why these things matter. So maybe, just maybe, instead of scrolling through Instagram, looking at nonsense for 3 hours, maybe pick up a paper or maybe Google. Maybe say, what has Biden done for Black America? That's a question you have. Ask that. That's a fair question. You should be asking it. I encourage that kind of curiosity. Ask it. Maybe you will be surprised. You can call up your member of Congress and say, hey, I got 50 friends at my house and we want to hear what you're doing for us. That member of Congress just might show up. Maybe show up to the school board meeting where your kids are in school, where they're rewriting history. They're banning books in this country right now. Maybe participate in that. At the bare minimum, you can read something. At most, you can go up and show up someplace and ask a question. You can host something. You can be a voice. You can write a check to a candidate. You can run for office. But these things do require some participation from us, not us sitting around whining about, well, I don't know what he did. When you have this in your hand every 5 minutes and it's full of information, you can find a reliable source from the White House website itself to newspapers, etc., and be informed.
I agree with you. I just think we're intellectually dishonest about a lot of this stuff based on what party we like, because we'll say things. If you say Trump did the first step back, Trump didn't do the first step back, Congress did for it. See, a little intellectually dishonest everybody is based on what party
I think that's
you
fair.
deal with.
On all sides, right?
He said based on
you're absolutely right.
You said Google what Biden did. So you want so whatever he did
you
pass.
Google what Trump did?
She was saying to the question, because people, it does come up. I mean, even in some of the questions in the comments where I was like, what do you guys want us to address on the podcast? One of them was, what did Biden do for Black people versus the GOP? Now, they got a shortcut because they can look at that speech from yesterday. No, from the Charleston speech, because he had a whole list of stuff in the pulpit at Mother Emanuel of what he believes he did for Black people.
But the things he didn't get done, the first thing we'll say was because Congress wouldn't allow him to. But if he had gotten them done, y'all be like, look what Biden did. That's why I say it's a little.
Well, I think be careful about y'all, right? We have this fight all the time, even on our phone calls. Like, I don't like to.
You saying y'all?
Why are you saying y'all to me?
No,
like,
that's not how you say it. Say y'all again.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
How about that?
Say y'all again.
Say y'all again.
I bet you don't say it. I bet you don't say it.
What's up? But no, I think at the end of the day, it is true that we will assign blame to people that sometimes don't deserve it when there is a whole process, to Tiff's point, on civics, and we will reward someone who we need them to win, and I think that, again, going back to the reason we're here today, Native Land Pod every Thursday. We're going to be honest about processes. We want our folks to be smarter. We want folks to hold us to account. If we say something wrong, tell us. We want to get it right. And it's not to be right. It's because we want to be better. We want to be free. We want to walk in our true liberation. If we can get our folks one step closer to that, that's what we want to do every single day.
As long as we give them a shout out right now, because black people, ever since we've been able to participate in elections and before, have been holding this country and pushing this country closer to its true vision of an American dream and its principles upon which it's built, enshrined in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and reiterated throughout. It's been black voters who have consistently showed up to hold America to the fire of the promise that we weren't even designed in from its beginning. The words were there, the actions weren't. And black folks have been the reinforcers and the accountability agents to make the words mean something.
That's right.
That's right. Native Land Podcast starts January 11th.
Thursday.
And I think it's very important to note that this is the first flagship podcast from Reason Choice Media, which is a political podcast network with iHeart that Angela Rye is the founder of.
With you and Chris Morrow, and it is my honor.
There you go. Yes. So there'll be a lot more shows coming down the pipeline.
That's
every
right.
week.
Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. Angela, Andrew Gillum.
Subscribe to Native Land Podcast right now.
Do it.
That's right. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Kanye West.
Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Now, Kanye West is being sued for allegedly assaulting a man. Now, back on January 13, 2022.
What kind of assault now?
Kanye West allegedly beat up a man named Justin Popowski. Now, it's been 2 years later. The man is suing him for assault and battery. Now, this man is an alleged autograph dealer. They say he goes around L.A. allegedly and looks for autographs, and then he flips it, and then he sells the autographs. Well, Kanye West actually spoke about this incident with Jason Lee, and now this interview is actually coming back to the forefront because people are talking about what he said in this interview.
The autograph secret, they're taking the autographs to make money on it. This is the same as a paparazzi. This is not a fan. This is someone using your image that probably never listened to your songs. So I end up getting into an altercation with the guy that wanted to make money off my autographs. And this dude he just had this like real attitude, like, what you gonna do and this and that. I'm gonna just tell you that blue COVID mask didn't stop that knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Was it the taunting, the disrespect, the disregard for your privacy? What was it?
It's all that, but that's what Hollywood be.
Pay him, Kanye. I mean, you got no choice. You admitted to it. You have to pay him. But I will say it is a sense of harassment that comes from these paparazzi folk. But I guess when you're a celebrity on the level of Kanye West, it kind of comes with the territory, but you're still human at the end of the day.
Well, the guy is saying that Kanye punched him once, and now he's severely injured, including disfigurement, lost earnings, mental pain, and suffering. And claiming it affected his sex life with his wife.
Oh, yeah, man. You get hit by somebody as rich as Kanye West, you got to put that act on. You got to drop to the floor and hit a seizure and a Harlem Shake at the same damn time. I mean, I ain't never getting up. I ain't getting up till somebody move me, okay?
We do have audio of the incident, but we're not going to play it, but the last part of the incident, he goes, can somebody call the police?
Somebody call the police. I can't even move. Please, I can't get up from this position. I am here. I'm not moving. I'm not moving till the police come, the ambulance. I'm not moving. And if you let a man beat you up in some socks, then you deserve it. Okay?
Shut up, man.
Kanye West had them socks on, man. Did anybody buy those socks?
I don't think they came out. I think you could pre-order them. I think you pre-order them. Yeah, I think you could pre-order them. I think they sold out actually on the site, but you could pre-order them. I don't think they came out yet.
Boy, you dudes gonna look so stupid in the springtime with them stockings on. Y'all gonna be out here with shorts and stockings on looking stupid in the spring. Okay?
All right, now also yesterday, Charlamagne gave Donkey of the Day to NBA Youngboy. Why Charlamagne?
I don't even remember. Oh, because he said he wasn't big on fatherhood.
He said he's not big on fatherhood. Well, this is what he said if you don't remember.
You do have a lot of children. You know, I've been around you to see in a short amount of time that you're a great father. How important is fatherhood to you, man?
I'm not really big on it, to be honest.
What do you mean by that? You're not big on it? Like you're a family man. I'm here with you. I see it.
Yeah, but I'm only like in here because you here.
Oh, well, I don't believe
It's a crazy topic because I'm not the type like to sugarcoat nothing, but I'm 4 walls all day, every day.
All right.
When you say...
All right, so that was what he said. And
With my guy Bootleg Kev, salute the Bootleg Kev, Bootleg Kev podcast.
Shout out to Bootleg Kev. Now, he had backlash yesterday. Charlamagne gave him Donkey of the Day, and he responded to all of the backlash.
My motherfucking house stay full of cheering, man. Hey, I'm just out of that fake. I'm out of that stage of posting it, you want me to show every time I'm with him? You want me to show every time I'm with him? It don't matter. Hey, it don't matter if a house full of in this. Hey, I got cheering running around these guys. Other than that, who else? I want to speak on one, but that the police. Other than that, say all the risk stay in this.
I can tell you, at 45 years old, I don't speak nigga like I used to. I have no idea what he said just now.
Translation. I had to translate it because I didn't understand either. He says, my MF house stays full of children.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to show you every time I'm with them? It don't matter if a house full of hoes in this itch. I got children running around my house. That's what he said.
Respect, but, I mean, you said it. like he said that on Bootleg Kev podcast. He said he's not big on fatherhood. You can't get upset when, you know, people respond to something that you said. You said you're not big on fatherhood. But let's not make it about NBA YoungBoy. Like I said yesterday, never broke again shouldn't be just about finances. It should be about homes. If you come from a broken home, you should make it your duty to never want to be a part of a broken home ever again. And, you know, if you're taking care of your kids, then take care of your kids and say you're taking care of your kids. Don't get on interviews and say you're not big on fatherhood and the only reason your kids are here is because the interviewer is there. He said that.
No, he said that himself.
Yeah, that was you, my brother.
And Bootleg Kev actually said, I see you with your kids. I see you playing with your kids. And he says, I'm not big on fatherhood. But lastly, Jonathan Majors, well, he says he respects Coretta Scott King. He got backlash yesterday because he mentioned Coretta Scott King numerous times when it comes to his women. We have those clips when he mentioned them.
Do we have to play?
How would you describe your relationship?
She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta. You know, I'm so blessed.
Okay. Well, yesterday he said, my intention was to convey the utmost respect for Coretta Scott King, her achievements, and both her personal legacy and the one she shares with her husband, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Jonathan, you should be all of that he said. It should have just been for Megan Good. What did he say? Say it again.
Which part?
What you just
My
read.
intention was to convey my utmost respect for Coretta Scott King.
Okay, stop. Your intention should be to pay the utmost respect to Megan Good because she's been coming with you to the court dates every day. And what else?
Her achievements and both her personal legacy and the one she shares with her husband.
You can do that to Megan Good too. Just take the husband part out. But all you really wanted to do was just pay respect to Megan Good for holding you down in court. Give her all the glory for that. All right? Don't bring Coretta into this. Now, especially after you done compared the white woman to Coretta too. You compared that little stick figure to Coretta Scott King as well, okay? All right? That woman look easy to draw. I can draw her right now. 2, 3, 4. All I need is 4 little lines. 1, 2 for the arms, 1 for the body, 2 for the legs, little circle for the head. Boom. Okay?
Eyes.
You compared that stick figure to Coretta Scott King, and you compared Megan Good to Coretta Scott King.
Jesus.
Stop it, Jonathan Majors. Stop. That's all people are trying to tell you to do. Stop. Even Bernice King told you. Stop. Her mom is not a prop.
1 line, 2, 3, 4, 5, circle 6. Eyes 7, 8, mouth 9. Okay.
You don't need no mouth. Pause.
And that is your rumor report. Now, who you giving it down to?
Man, 4 after the hour, we need to talk about one of the most unserious yet hilarious places in America, Capitol Hill. We'll discuss 4 after the hour.
All right, we'll get to that next. Don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
This is a miracle.
There is no question that there are problems in this country between police and community.
Yes, you are a donkey.
The latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Donkey of the day for Thursday, January 11th goes to one of the most unserious yet hilarious places in America, Capitol Hill. Now, I spend a lot of time watching CNN, MSNBC, Fox News simply because some of the best comedy in the country is coming from these places. I know there is places folks go for comedy, it's comedy houses, comedy clubs all over the country, but the best dramedy, which is my favorite genre, the best dramedy is coming live from Washington, D.C. Okay, look, I hate to be the pessimist here, but unless God intervenes, we are in the America series finale. All right, listen, all great empires fall at some point. It's inevitable for America to do the same. We had a pretty decent run, and I know what you're thinking. If you are a minority in this country, you're like, no, we have not had a decent run. Listen, trust me, after this year, you are going to be begging for old America back. All right, once this country gets a taste of true fascism and authoritarian rule, we're going to be begging to get regular, good old racist, homophobic, sexist America back. But I digress. Let's get back to the comedy show that is Capitol Hill. Yesterday, Hunter Biden, all right, decided to make a surprise guest appearance to a congressional contempt hearing about him. Yes, Hunter Biden refused to appear for a private deposition on Capitol Hill as part of Republicans' impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden, which centers on allegations of corruption by the president and his family. And I don't blame Hunter at all. I'm not doing a private deposition with the ops. Okay, let's do this publicly for the world to hear because I don't trust y'all. They should have sworn him in right there and spoke to him in front of the world. But let's look at the reality of the situation. The GOP is just torturing Hunter Biden in order to kill Joe. That's all it is. Republicans are giving Hunter Biden pure hell, torturing him in front of his father, hoping that President Biden has a heart attack. That's all this is. Republicans are on a seek and destroy mission. They just want to hurt the Bidens, and it's hard to work with people who aren't operating in good faith. So yes, 2 Republican-led House committees passed resolutions recommending that Hunter Biden be found in contempt of Congress for refusing to be deposed behind closed doors. But yeah, you're not talking to me behind closed doors. I'm sure all of us at some point have been told if someone walks up on you with a gun or a weapon and tries to get you to go somewhere else, you don't go. Whatever you want to do it to me right here. That's the position Hunter Biden is in, and I don't blame him for not going behind closed doors with people who are clearly out to get him and his family. I'm sure that's why he came to the hearing, to let y'all know I'm not hiding, but I'm not going behind closed doors with y'all. I thought he was a complete sucker for storming out, but I'm glad he did because the comedy that ensued was priceless. Now, let's start with the Congresswoman from South Carolina, Nancy Mace. She set it off on Hunter because she was one of the only Republicans who had the opportunity to directly confront him. Let's listen.
First of all, my first question is who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail.
You are the epitome of white privilege and you have no balls. Fun fact, Nancy Mace and I attended the same high school, Stratford High School, Goose Creek, South Carolina, dropping the clues bombs for Stratford High School. She dropped out, I got kicked out. And her mother and my mother were both teachers at the same school. Yes, Miss Mace, Miss McKelvey. I can't make this up. So me and Nancy, cool. All right. I disagree with her that Hunter has no balls. I think it takes a lot of balls to show up to a contempt hearing about yourself, especially when you know what the backlash will be because you already ignored their subpoena. And I do agree it is a level of white privilege and who my daddy is that made Hunter move like this. But it's also, Nancy, what we call caucasity, unmelanated gall. That's what Hunter was really showing y'all. He had the caucasity, the unmelanated gall to wipe his ass with y'all subpoena, just like Donald Trump has always done. Now it gets better. Representative Robert Garcia, California, he started going in on Marjorie Taylor Greene and he tapped her jaw for showing penis pics at hearings in the past. Listen.
It's really interesting to hear the gentle lady from Georgia speak about Hunter Biden leaving, and she is the person that showed nude photos of Hunter Biden showing pics in this committee room of Hunter to this committee in this very room.
What the hell is happening on Capitol Hill? Penis pics? Purity is out the window in politics, or should I say the perception of purity. We know y'all have never been pure, but there's no need to keep acting like it. Y'all ghetto just like the rest of the world. Y'all just chose to go into politics. There's one more I want to play before I get into my favorite part. This is Representative Pramila Jayapal. I'm messing her name all the way up. Yes, but listen to what she said about Donald Trump and what he incited.
But if we're going to talk about outrageous things that have happened or things that have never happened, let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
What?
And maybe that too.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, you could talk about that too, I guess.
Maybe that too.
I know yesterday was hump day, all right? But between Nancy Mace talking about balls, Robert Garcia scolding Marjorie Taylor Greene for penis pics, and Representative Jay Powell saying Trump incited an erection, y'all was extra horny on Capitol Hill yesterday.
It was a party.
Okay, now I want to know whose erection did Trump incite? We found out last year it was a Democratic Senate staffer having sex with another man in a Senate hearing room. So we already know that men incite other men to have erections on the Hill. So who amongst us has a ding-dong for the Donald? Huh? Now, let's get into my favorite part of yesterday's mess. When Hunter Biden, this is the best part. When Hunter Biden stormed out the House hearing after showing up unexpectedly, he stepped out of the frying pan into the fire because there was a reporter on the scene asking all the questions inquiring minds wanted to know. Listen.
Can you please, I'll answer your question if you be quiet and let me make a statement, okay? What kind of crack do you normally smoke, Mr. Biden?
What kind of crack do you normally smoke? There's more. Where's the rest of it at? When he asked about what type of crack it was. Y'all don't have that? Huh? Gosh, come on, man. Y'all always fail me here. I truly don't know how shows like SNL are still on because everything is a spoof. In real life is funnier. Daily Show, where are you? Okay, nobody makes fun of political news stories better than the Daily Show. When are y'all coming back and with what host? I'm getting sidetracked. Dropping the clues bombs for the reporter for asking real questions. Okay, the real questions people wanted to know. Do we have that? Do we have the rest of it yet? Okay, well, never mind. People wanted to know these things. Remember when my good brother Killer Mike was on one of my TV shows that got canceled and he said this?
Why is Hunter Biden not in jail? Because he don't rap. I saw that smoking crack. I seen him with a prostitute. That mother out smoking crack doing business in Ukraine now.
He's right. Okay, and furthermore, the reporter asked Hunter Biden not only, are you smoking crack? What type of crack do you smoke? I have no idea. I had no idea there was types of crack. Did you know that, Envy?
I did not.
What level of privilege do you have to be able to have to get types of crack? Is there like a crack and Robbins folks go to so they can taste 31 flavors of that fried cocaine? What flavors do they have? Pistachio almond crack, strawberry cheese crack, rainbow sherbet crack, Reese's peanut butter crack, Oreo cookies and crack, mint chocolate crack. I didn't know when we referred to crack as butter, we was talking about pecans. Old-fashioned butter pecan crack. That reporter did fantastic, but he would have really stuck the landing if he knew culture. Because you're supposed to end that line of questioning with the famous words of Morgan Freeman playing Joe Clark on Lean On Me.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
If you would have hit him with that, if he would have hit Hunter Biden with that 10-10, all across the board. Listen, man, do y'all understand that it's only January 11th of 2024 and it's an election year? I knew the series finale of America was going to be great, but we haven't even gotten to the good parts yet. As the good brother Lil Duval says, if you're not laughing at life, you are missing the point. Furthermore, what else we supposed to do? Okay, I truly believe this is above all of us now. Only God can fix any of this because humans simply can't. Please let Remy Ma give everybody on Capitol Hill, the entire Congress, donkey of the day.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we come back, let's open up the phone lines.
You ain't got nothing.
Yes, we do. Let's talk parental competition. I'm going to tell you where this comes from. Shout out to Mack, our producer, came up with this idea. He was asking, as parents, do y'all have friendly competition? And what does that mean? Well, Travis Barker's ex-wife expresses frustration as she consistently tries to outdo her in parenting. Well, what does that mean?
How do you outdo somebody in parenting?
I'm going to explain. So when the kids are out with mommy, they might do something else. But when the kids are out with daddy, you try to make it even more fun. You try to make it better. You try to make the experience better with dad than you do with mom. So that is the question. 800-585-1051. Do y'all have parental competition? You don't have that with your wife when you go out with the kids?
No. Why? What's the point? We're a family. We're having a good time together.
No?
You're stupid. So if you do stuff like that, I can see you doing dumb stuff.
No,
like
I do fun stuff with the kids that I know that mom won't do. Like I know that if I take my kids to the jump park, I know my wife's not jumping around in no damn jump park, but I do it with my kids because we have more fun.
That's
we
not
have
a competition though, because she's choosing. She don't want to do it.
That's true.
It's not even competition. She don't want to do it.
That's true. But that's the question. 800-585-1051. We're talking parental competition. Do you have that competition within your family? Let's discuss.
Not if it's a family. Maybe if y'all separated and, you got a house over here and she got a house over there and y'all not together. But there's no competition if y'all a family. Why?
Well, let's discuss. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking parental competition. All right. Now, this conversation comes from Travis Barker and his ex-wife. His ex-wife was saying that she's frustrated sometimes because he consistently tries to outdo her when it comes to parenting, right? And I was thinking about my relationship with my wife, and I try to outdo my wife. I ain't even gonna sit there and lie, because absolutely, positively.
I do not. Me and my wife are a team, and
we're a team.
We were just having this conversation yesterday. Like, there's no rule book or no manual for parenting, so a lot of it is on the job training. And if you are blessed to be in a relationship with a wife and a husband in the household, boy, y'all need each other, because there's gonna be times that you fall short as a parent and don't feel like you're getting it right, and there's times where she gonna feel like she fell short and she wasn't getting it right. But what you have to remember is y'all are in it together. Y'all are a unit.
Yeah, we are a unit. We are a team. But it is friendly competition when it comes to the house, no matter what it is, no matter if we're all out and we're roller skating, we're bowling, or if we're cleaning the house.
Well, so bowling is supposed to be.
But let's say we're cleaning the house, right? The kids would rather clean with dad than clean with mom. Because cleaning with dad, we're going to play music, we're going to laugh, we're going to joke, we're going to have fun.
Or cleaning with dad ain't really paying attention to the details. Dad ain't really cleaning. Because I'm sure that mama got to come behind all of y'all and do it right, because y'all didn't get it right because daddy too busy trying to be cool with his pants sagging and his Beijing and his beard. You know what I mean?
You be in my house?
Making jokes looking dumb.
You be in my house?
No. It's just silly. I'm not competition should be when you really doing things for competition, like playing Uno or Monopoly, or like you said, going bowling. But competition is parents, if y'all together.
I just think what it is, I think a lot of times dads are more fun when it comes to most people. When my wife takes the kids out somewhere to the mall, they prefer to go with dad, because dad's gonna have a lot more fun.
I'm definitely
Dad's gonna eat we gonna eat the fast food, the food that mom ain't gonna let you eat.
I'm not the fun dad. I am the angry black father.
The angry black dad.
I'm understanding, but I'm the disciplinarian. Not I don't discipline my kids physically, of course, but I am the stop that. No, that's not happening. I'm taking that away person. I'm
the disciplined person too, but I'm also the fun dad. I'm the one that's gonna dance. I'm the one that's gonna do stupid stuff. I'm the one that we gonna have a good time when we're out with dad.
Listen, we gonna have a good time, but I ain't the fun. I don't want to be referred to as the fun dad. I'm daddy. I'm daddy. Okay, father. All right.
Hello.
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? What's your name, bro?
What's up? This is Ray from Queens.
Ray from Queens. What part of Queens?
Jamaica.
Oh, South Side?
Nah, I actually live in Springfield Gardens.
Oh, okay, North Side, Springfield Gardens. All right, cool. That's my side of town. But all right, so we're asking parental competition. Talk to us, brother.
I don't think it's really a competition. I think it's more so like women as a whole gotta understand that when it comes to parenting, like, they're just not the fun parent. So, like, you might be trying to get your kids to have fun, but it's a different vibe when they with dad. Like, just because dad is dad.
Now, are you in a relationship where you and your woman are in the same household? Are you married or?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
But that's what I said. When you got to clean up the house and the kids clean up with you, it's fun. We're going to listen to music.
Yeah,
we're going to dance.
Make a game out of it.
We're going to make a game out of it. Right, that's what I'm saying. When mom does it, it's too serious.
With mom, it's like, you better go clean that room.
Correct.
Because it's like, so kids understand that, like, when they get in trouble and they be like, oh, your father's going to come talk to you. We don't really want to come talk to you. Mommy's making us.
That is the truth.
No, speak for yourself.
Yes, it is.
Speak for yourself. I
feel you.
If I need to talk to my daughters about something, I enjoy the conversation. Like, those are the conversations. Like, I was told just last week that I always lecture Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm 45 years old. I got 30 more.
Yeah.
I got 30 more years of experience in life than you. So when I hear certain things that you have done or said, I've seen this before. So I can tell you how it's gonna go. So yes, if you think it's gonna be a lecture or a TED Talk, it absolutely will be.
Nah, Uncle Charlotte, I understand that completely. But what I'm saying is, like, when kids are in the house with mom, right?
Yep.
And they get into their little thing, and she couldn't handle it. But instead of handling it, your father's gonna talk to you. Now I gotta get dragged into y'all mess, and I wasn't even home.
I wasn't even home. I don't even know all the details.
But time out. You know what that is? You said we don't even really want to talk to the kids. Neither does your wife. That's why she said I'm gonna let your daddy handle it.
Now we the bad guy. Now we the bad guy. We the bad guy.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, why I gotta be the bad guy? Because you just didn't nip this in the bud before I got home.
Now you the bad guy. But then if you don't be the bad guy, now your wife mad at you.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of in a lose-lose situation.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray. Oh, damn, my bad, Ray. Brother from Queens, my bad. Hello, who's this?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Ayana.
Hey, Ayana.
Thanks,
We're talking
Ayana.
about parental competition. Talk to us.
My husband can do no wrong in my kids' house. Like, anything he does is golden. And so I'm always trying to top it just to hear the kids, say something good about something that I do because I'm always the bad guy. So, yeah, I'm always trying to top him on something. Even though I can't, but still.
So what you're saying is, since your kids think that your husband can do no wrong, you try to outdo him when you do things, so they look at you a little better.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Ayana. 800-585-1051. We're talking parental competition. If you have kids, whether you're together or separated, do you try to outdo your spouse? That is the question. Let's discuss. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking parental competition. This story actually comes from Travis Barker. You know, Travis Barker is married to Kourtney Kardashian. His ex-wife spoke out and says she's a little frustrated. She says that he attempts to outdo her in everything involving the kids when it comes to parenting. And we're just asking, do you do that in your relationship? Do you see that as well? Hello, who's this?
This is Josh.
Hey, Josh. Good morning. We're talking parental competition. Talk to us.
Yeah, there's plenty of competition going on. And I'm a married man. I just think when it comes to, let's say, the fun department, the kids, their dads got them all corrupt. So, and just even when it comes down to the grandparents, it's a slick competition. It might not be said, and even if everybody get along, like I said, I'm a married man, but I like the competition because it kind of boosts up the morale in the family.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like with my wife, right? My wife's gonna buy the clothes for the kids, right? Especially the boys, and the boys don't care about no clothes. They want the toys. Dad's gonna get the PS5. Dad's gonna get the video games. Dad's gonna be the one that's gonna be outside in the snow, throwing each other in the snow. Mom's gonna be the one over them, making sure the homework is done right. Mom's gonna be the one making sure they eat their food. Dad's gonna be the one when it snowed the other day in New Jersey. Dad was outside with thing. Mama was in the window.
Right. Let me just say this real quick too, and I just as a father though, as a father that's in their children's life, I think it's always some sort of competitiveness in the father's way because it's what we get out here, the rap that we get in the world. So regardless on what we do, we compete in, even if we don't think we compete in.
All right, thank you, brother. Hello, who's this?
This is Dee.
Hey, Dee. Good morning. We're talking parental competition. Talk to us.
So there is a little competition, but not on my end. My daughter is 1 year old, and her dad and I have separated. But she's a mommy's girl. I breastfed her whole life, so she always clings to me. Well, the other day when he was video chatting her, she was just all over me per usual, and she wasn't really engaging with him as much. So he was like, "You always want your mama. Wait till I get some more money." And I'm like, "She's a 1 year old. What are you talking about?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Oh, she's going to want some stuff from the store. We're going to go hang out and this, that, and the third. I'm like, damn, why are you jealous?
And by the way, that's so whack. And the reason that's so whack is because it's like, yo, even with the money, she's still gonna naturally gravitate towards you just because you mommy. Like you said, you breastfed her. That's what you really want as a father. You want that kind of bond. You don't want a bond because of what you can do for them financially.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Eve. How you doing?
Eve, good morning. We're talking about parental competition. You got that in your relationship?
I wouldn't say in my relationship, but as a single parent, yes, I'm dealing with that right now.
So what does the daddy do?
No. Well, I can't really say I'm in competition with his dad, but I would say that when my son is with his dad would kind of more so spend more money, as if like him spending more money is better than spending time. And it's funny because, like, I do fun things with my son all the time. So it's not like, okay, well, what you do with your dad? We did this, we did that. And, you know, like I said, as a single mother, I raised my son since he's been young by myself. So I just feel on his dad's behalf, he feels like him doing more, spending the money is like, okay, you're doing something. And it's like, I don't know, there's no competition, but some parents aren't in competition when it's just like, you know, you're single, you got the child on this time, I got the child this time. Where some parents who are together don't feel like there's no competition because you're working together. So, you know, I'm not in a relationship with his dad to feel like there's competition, but I really feel like his dad.
Yeah, I always see more competition. I can see actual competition in parents that aren't together. When people are co-parenting, you know what I mean? Like when you're a single mother and, you know, you're a baby daddy, I see that. But not when it's a unit. I don't really see competition with couples that are together.
I mean, like for instance, my wife is going out for her friend's birthday dinner this weekend, right? So I know that, you know, I got the kids solo all night long, right? So I'm gonna make it fun. Like I'm gonna, you know, have the tents and we're gonna have a sleepover in the living room and we're gonna, you know, watch a movie and we're gonna do this. But it's not a competition, but I know they're gonna be like, I have fun with daddy. It's a competition.
You're supposed to have fun with daddy. You they daddy, fool.
I know.
Do you babysit your kids? That's what it sounds like.
Nah.
Okay, then. You shouldn't because you they daddy.
I Uber drive them though.
No, man.
I definitely Uber drive them.
I hate when parents say they babysitting.
I don't babysit my kids.
I'm babysitting. Who you babysitting? My kid?
But
I'm not.
But I'm definitely an Uber driver.
Listen, man. The moral of the story
don't get tips.
The moral of the story is parenting is not a competition. Rather, it is a combination of teamwork, respect, and honor. And for all the co-parents out there, co-parenting is not a competition either. It's a collaboration of two homes working together with the best interest of the child at heart. Okay, work for your kids, not against them. All right, have a good day.
All right, and to all the dads out there, you know them kids be having more fun with dad than mom. You know it. You know it. All right.
You don't even sound serious. You don't believe yourself.
I am. I'm gonna let you come to my house one time when we have a little fun. Yep. Yes,
no,
you are.
Sir.
Yes. You have a little fun with us. All right. When we come back, we got to talk. So much to talk about. Sanaa Lathan. Do you remember Miss Cleo? Call me now.
I was born in 1978. Of course I remember Miss Cleo. Don't you disrespect me. Who you talking to? The listeners. You ain't talking to me.
I'm talking to all
talking
to
our young ass listeners.
Call me now. We're going to get into that when we come back. Don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Sanaa Lathan.
Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on The Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a lady named Miss Cleo that was a tarot card reader that was huge, I would say, in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I was born in 1978. When you say you guys, who you talking to? We all remember Miss Cleo. Don't play with us.
I'm just making sure. She was a tarot card reader, and let's play one of her commercials.
The cards can reveal things that you will never see by yourself. Call me now for your free tarot reading.
Call me now! I don't even really think she was Caribbean. I don't think she was Jamaican.
Your accent is as bad as I think Sanaa Lathan's is going to be.
Well, Sanaa Lathan is going to be playing Miss Cleo in a drama series called Miss Cleo. All right, she's also executive producing the project, which I think is dope because I think there's a Netflix documentary on it right now. But I just thought it was dope. Now they said in 2002, the Federal Trade Commission charged the company's owners with deceiving advertising, billing, and collection practices. They said Miss Cleo was never indicted. The company worked and agreed on a settlement, I think, for $500 million in debt paying the victims and also paying a $5 million fine. And Miss Cleo passed away in 2016.
Yes, rest in peace to Miss Cleo. I mean, I'm making jokes when I say Sanaa Lathan accent is going to be bad, but that should be like kind of the whole point, because wasn't her accent phony?
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlamagne.
That's good. I mean, that should be good.
I think it'd be great.
Because you don't know people's backstory, you know? And I know Miss Cleo made some bread.
Yes. Now, also, Tiffany Haddish, she spoke out yesterday. She said she's currently 46 days sober.
Good.
I'm sharing this only because I think it's time for people to get up and do some work. I put in work. I work every day, all day. I'm allergic to something out here. Some of y'all is lazy bums. I already stopped. Ain't had nothing to drink. Haven't drank in 46 days now.
Which is great. Remember, she was arrested in November 24th of last year. So the fact that she's staying sober is amazing.
Dropping a clues bomb for Tiffany Haddish.
Absolutely.
One day at a time. That's all you can do.
And lastly, a lot went down in sports yesterday when it came to coaches. A lot of people retired. A lot of people left. Let's go to the news report.
Breaking news into Sports Center. Busy news cycle for septuagenarian coaching greats. 72-year-old Nick Saban retired yesterday. 72-year-old Pete Carroll out in Seattle. And just now, the news that Bill Belichick, who turned 72 in April, is parting ways with the Patriots after 24 seasons in Foxborough. The 6 Super Bowl titles and all that. Let's bring in Adam Schefter, the man who broke the news. Adam, what more can you tell us about what went into this decision?
Well, David, this was a situation that was going on all week long. Discussions between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft about how to figure out what to do going forward, what was the best solution. Ultimately, in the end, the two sides came to a meeting that they would go their own ways, and that is expected to happen today.
I mean, the end of some eras. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll. He stepped down. Well, he took an advisory role. With the Seahawks.
14 seasons with the Seahawks as a coach, and now he's they say he's going upstairs, which is in the booth. Nick Saban, 17 seasons as head coach at University of Alabama, and of course Belichick, 17 division titles, the most by a head coach in NFL history. 9 conference championships, 12 Super Bowl appearances, and 21 winning seasons as a head coach.
Some of the best to ever do it, man. I think we're so used to seeing players retire that we don't even realize when coaches do. Because, you know, of course, coaches last way longer than the players, you know. But, you know, I think sometimes we just don't.
Belichick had 1 year in his contract, so I don't know if he'll go to another team or if he'll just chill and relax.
I hope he kick his feet up and relax somewhere. I mean, it's not even the first time we saw this in our lifetime. We saw great coaches like Dean Smith, who, you know, step down. We saw Coach K retire last year. Phil Jackson, you know, Bob Knight, you know, Eddie Robinson, Bill Walsh, Tom Landry. You know, we've seen it before.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't leave the sport though. They just took other jobs and other roles where it was not as demanding.
Shoot, I think most of the people I just named left.
Yeah.
For the most part. Yeah.
I thought Phil Jackson still did something upstairs with the Lakers at one time. No?
For the Knicks, I think.
Well, for the Knicks one time.
Yeah.
He wasn't a coach. He just was upstairs.
I mean, that's usually what happens. They either retire or pass away.
Because it's hard to give it something away that you've been doing for so long that you still want some part of. You still want to be a part of it somehow, some way. So
God bless the dead. God bless Pat Summitt. You know, like I said, you either pass away or you step down.
Right.
One day we're gonna see Greg Popovich step down. You know, one day we're gonna see the great Don Staley step down. It happens.
Yep. All right. Well, that is your rumor report. All right, now let's get to the People's Choice Mix. 800-585-1051.
Another reason why we should appreciate people why they here too. By the way, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we take for granted this greatness that we're experiencing because we're experiencing it in real time.
Correct.
But when these legends and these icons decide to step down, you're never gonna see it like this ever again. You're never going to see what Nick Saban. Probably not in our lifetime. You're never gonna see it again. You know, so appreciate these icons while they're still here. You're never gonna see what Bill Belichick did with the Patriots ever again. Probably,
right.
You know.
Right. All right. Well, today is Mary J. Blige's birthday, so you know we're gonna start the mix up with some Mary. So let me know your favorite Mary joints. We'll get it on for you.
We love you, Mary J. Blige. You have provided the soundtrack for our lives.
That's right. And happy birthday again to the Queen, Mary J. Blige.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got to salute Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum, the Native Land Podcast, for stopping through again. And make sure you subscribe and listen to their podcast today. It's out today.
That's right. It is the flagship podcast off Reason Choice Media, which is a political vertical that we launched here at iHeartRadio. So, yeah, like Envy just said, make sure you go subscribe to the Native Land Podcast, man. The beautiful thing about the first 3 episodes is, you know, they've all been through different situations. You know, Angela Rye, no longer on CNN. She tells you why in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, Tiffany Cross, we all saw what happened with her at MSNBC. She's going to tell you, you know, a lot of behind the scenes things that you didn't know in the next episode. And then Andrew Gillum is going to tell you about everything he went through in the 3rd episode. So, you know, definitely something to tune into along with whatever great political information you're going to get from the Native Land Podcast.
All right.
And also, too, I would like to say, man, stop asking me about the 3rd co-host situation here on The Breakfast Club, because I don't know. All right? I am serious when I tell you that. People texting me. I see people leaving comments on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know.
You know?
Only thing I can tell y'all is manifestation is real.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever y'all want, speaking into existence. Okay? Because I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know. 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 I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
you make everything beige.
But that was from the scene of what you call it? Usual Suspects.
Idea.
You know, Usual Suspects. They was like, say your name, and he was like,
no.
All the people that watch Usual Suspects know.
Never heard
when he
of
went
it.
at the lineup part, no? Spanish dude?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, when we come back, we got the positive notice. The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. All right. Now it's time to get up out of here. Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do, man. I want to salute to Change Your Perception. That's an Instagram page that I love and I follow. I just want to tell you that they said something this morning that I tell y'all all the time. If you understood how frequently people cope by projecting, you would learn to take nothing personally. Okay, go pick up the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz if you've never read it, and read the second agreement. Okay, don't take anything personally. And once again, if you understand how frequently people cope by projecting, you would learn to take nothing personally. Okay? Okay, do I need to tell you more? All right, fine. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally, you set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Okay, because nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. Have a blessed day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?